Hello there, guitarist. So, you want to sound like Jason Richardson. Have you got your Ernie Ball Music Man John Petrucci model guitar? And Toneforge Jason Richardson plugin? Do you have Jason Richardson's insane shredding skill? That's all right. Just do your best.
What's up, Gear Mortals? Trey Xavier here. On today's edition of Gear Gods Quality Control, we're going to be taking a look at the Toneforge Jason Richardson Amp Sim plugin. Toneforge Jason Richardson is an all-in-one amp sim plugin that includes not just 3 distinct amp sim sounds, clean, rhythm, and lead, but also 2 distinct cabs with 4 different mics each. A cab IR loader so that you can load in your own third-party cabs, delay, reverb, and lo-fi effects, something called Joey's Magic, an EQ, and some compression and dynamics processing. There's also a pretty sweet tuner built right in. Basically everything that you could possibly hope for in a single plugin. If you're a fan of the guitar tones on Jason Richardson's debut solo album, the tones in this plugin are all based very much on those sounds, so it's pretty much as close as you're possibly gonna get within just one plugin. Now we're gonna take a closer look at the plugin, a bunch of the features that it has and how they work, as well as some of the tones that you can get out of it. So as you can see, it's set up essentially like a real amp with 3 channels and this virtual foot switch for switching between the different amps, clean, rhythm, and lead. Here's the amp view mode. We've got the tone stack and then something called clarity and range, which is kind of like a specific mid, boost, or cut. We have a couple different cabs to choose from, and each one has 4 different mic settings that you can try. And then there's also a third-party IR loader. We've got the effects section, which has 3 different kinds of effects: delay, a lo-fi, and a reverb. Then there's this parametric EQ, which is incredibly handy. It's very powerful. You can really potentially do a lot of damage to your tone or really enhance it. And then we've got the dynamics section, which is essentially a compressor. So this is just the default rhythm guitar setting right out of the box. Let's hear what it sounds like. It's good. I feel like it has a little too much low end for my taste. That actually sounds good, a little tiny bit scooped. I actually think this is only a boost because I noticed that the range only makes a difference when the clarity is up. So this is like a thing that you would use when you're mixing to find a good spot where it'll sit nicely in the mix. So right now we're using the JST 4x12 cab. No idea what kind of cab it is, but we've got 4 different kinds of mics that we can use. 421, and 2 different positions of a SM57. So the condenser is nice and bright. It's a nice full sound. 421 is very focused. 57 sounds like a 57. Now we've got this PRS 4x12 cab as well, with the same 4 options. It'd be cool if you could have an option of blending some of these microphones, but what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, right off the bat too, we've got this built-in gate here, which comes in handy for parts like this with a lot of stop and start, where I want it to sound really tight. Stop some of that ringing in the middle there. Very simple, 1 knob, but very effective. Lo-fi is a nice little touch here. Basically reduces the bandwidth to just a little narrow band of mid-range. You can kind of dial it in. Parametric EQ, just like any other. We've got cut and boost on these knobs, and then which frequency range we're taking a look at. So let's say we wanted to scoop a bit. .3K is a good spot to scoop a little bit. It's not bright enough though. This is something you can spend a billion years on, so I'm not going to go into it too much. Let's do a little more oomph. Actually sounds pretty good. Dynamics. You can actually see the compressor is hard at work right now. Press the tits out of it. Let's just go. Let's take a look at all the things in the signal path. Basically all the stuff we just looked at, plus this magical thing here called Joey's Magic. Sounds good, so I'm just gonna leave it on. So you can turn off whole blocks of stuff with the signal path feature. All right, let's take a look at the lead channel on some lead guitar. So this is just the stock sound right out of the box. Actually sounds pretty nice. I dig it. All right, let's turn on some effects. I personally like a good little bit of delay. It's kind of a lot. Start with. So, cool feature is the tone knob on the delay that allows you to darken the repeats so that they're not quite as obvious. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's take a look at some reverb. I like a real epic lead sound, so as you can tell, not like an obscuring amount of ambience, but I like kind of a lot. So that's pretty good. Okay, here's something I like to do. Right around 1.5. I like to boost it just a little bit. That's probably too much. That to me makes it scream. Give it a little bit of body with the low mid. That's a pretty killer tone for just an in-the-box plug-in guitar tone with literally nothing else but this one plug-in going on a DI. Impressive. I think one of my favorite parts about this is just that it has so much stuff all in this one plugin, and it doesn't seem to take a whole ton of processing power. I'm able to have several instances on my mix on this kind of old, not that great MacBook Pro. It doesn't seem to be slowing it down, so that's pretty impressive. Honestly, I kind of feel like the only thing that's missing from this plugin is some kind of a boost or an overdrive in the effects section. It's got everything else in the kitchen sink. It's possible that these sounds were created with like already a boosted thing in there, some kind of a tube screamer or whatever, but it would be nice to be able to change those parameters and stuff as well. So I only recorded a very short 4-chord clean part for this song, but that's what it called for, so let's take a listen to the clean track. So just 3 controls on the clean amp. Low, shimmer, and high. Cool, so I've also got some delay, which I feel like I probably could get a little bit more of, actually. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even have the reverb on. Yeah. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Ooh, hello. Nice. So as you can see, the Jason Richardson Toneforge plugin has a ton of really great stuff in there. It's really easy to use, and more important than anything else, it has essentially your entire guitar recording and post-processing signal chain right there in it. You can use as much or as little of the post-processing as you want, and more importantly, you don't have to pull up 4 or 5 separate plugins to get the sound that you're looking for. It's all right here in this one plugin. It's really handy, it's a great studio tool. I think this is a crazy good value for the price. What's not to like? So if an all-in-one metal guitar recording plugin is what you're looking for, I definitely think you should not hesitate to check out Jason Richardson Toneforge. It's got pretty much everything that you're gonna be looking for in one pretty affordable package. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you real soon.